My name is George King, also known as the Shard Climber. This is my story. I don't want to die, I want to live to my old age. In order for me to have that control, I need to accept that possibility of death. At the age of 13, I was on this school art trip, sitting in the back of the bus, looking out the window, when I saw the Shard for the first time. And impulsively, I put it down on my list of dreams, climb the Shard. I spent sort of 6 to 8 months preparing intensely and training intensely. It was my entire existence was the Shard. I sort of sacrificed social life, I sacrificed family life, I sacrificed everything. Anything which didn't have to do with the Shard, I sacrificed. And I do all different kinds of things to prepare. I'd dress up in sports gear and I'd run to the Shard, and I'd noticed that the pillars up at the top were the same dimensions as the ones at the bottom. But I couldn't just get a measuring tape and start sort of measuring, otherwise it'd be suspicious. So I'd run to the Shard in sports gear, I'd sort of stretch on a pillar, and as I'm stretching on the pillar, I'd see that the width would go from my wrist to my elbow, then I'd run back home, get a measuring tape, measure from my wrist to my elbow, then I'll get my measurement. 8 months in, intuitively, I felt as though I was ready. I crossed over Tooley Street, I climbed up onto London Bridge Station roof, sprinted across a roof platform, and then climbed onto the Shard. And as I got higher and higher, the sirens would grow around London, but I was not paying any attention to it. I was totally locked into the moment. And at this point, there was sort of police sort of congregating inside the top terrace bit. And after embracing the moment of being at the top and looking around, feeling the sense of accomplishment, I eventually got inside the building. I always knew that prison was a potential outcome of doing this. I immediately felt the weight of the law. I was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. I can't think of a situation which would stop me from climbing, other than death and an injury which is completely debilitating. Not a family member, not a girlfriend, not anyone really will stop me from doing what I'm doing.